Here's my first question. It's regarding the master students. Currently, institute does not allow MTech students to undergo summer internships as they are given stipend. There are some exceptions with some departments, as well as their guides do not find it appropriate as the students would lose research time. Given the fact that students anyways lose a lot of time during placements and apping. Now this is the background. The question is, what is your stand on the issue? 1. Do you support the current stand of the institute? Yes or no? Justify.
First thing is, as I probably proposed for this internship program, so I'm going to just bring increase number of companies for that, so that opportunity for going for internship is increased. First thing. Second thing, I support this thing. I mean that there should be number of internship is needed to the master students even, because until and unless they know what actually is happening in the industry, what the actual problems are. Usually what research happens in institute is practically less on the part of practical knowledge. I mean what actually is happening in industries. So we want that practical problems that usually happens in industry. So for that reason, I suppose that internship should be allowed.
So you did not answer one of the other questions. Is that institute feels that the students lose research time if they go to internship, and anyways they are already losing some time during placements and apping.
What I can do about it is, for example, if you are taking a project, that project might or might not be of industrial use. Okay, for example, I am working on a project which is a company. I mean, the company has given this project, the consulting project. So what could be done is like bringing those problems directly to the guides or professor, so that those same problems could be given to the students at their MTech project. In that particular case, they would be more likely to be, I mean, it's sort of an internship also, and they are being linked to a practical problem, rather than just sending the students to internship. I mean, this is.
And second question is regarding PhD students. The common practice of PhD intake in many departments in the institute is students attend interview, they get selected, but they are allotted to professors according to the interests of the professors rather than that of the students. In fact, students get to know which professors they are allotted to only after they join here, which is against international practice, where students apply to specific profs according to their interests and get through. What is your stand on this, and what are your plans?
Just after they are introduced into IIT, there is no such common meeting between all the professors and the students, PhD students. So this is the main reason I feel that they do not come to know that what actually, which professor is better and which not, according to their area of interest. So there should be a, I mean, for example, I have introduced a thing for MTech and so the same thing should be with all the PhD guys.
The question is, the common practice in IIT Bombay, in a lot of departments, is that students interview and they would get a mail stating that they got selected. And once they arrive in the campus, they would get to know that they have been allotted to so and so prof without their knowledge.
This is what I am saying, that before, I mean, already this has been there, but what thing I am going to introduce is like a middle stage thing. I mean, first there should be an interaction between the professor and the students on a common room. Then there should be, I mean, the allotment should be done.
So you propose that you would be asking this to me.
Yeah.
So next, moving on to generic questions. General Secretary Academic Affairs PG is a member of Student Welfare Society, Library Committee, Disciplinary Action Committee, Academic Disciplinary Action Committee, among many. Okay. Your first question would be, do you know the issues regarding terms? Why they do not run on time? Yes or no? Explain.
What I know about terms is like, first of all, this comes under this Hostel Secretary, General Secretary Hostel Affairs. The second thing is
factually wrong. It comes under both General Secretary Academic Affairs PG and General Secretary Hostel.
It's just keep General Secretary Academic Affairs PG can give his suggestions and ask.
Factually wrong. Both are equal members.
It's terms usually come under Hostel Affairs, no?
Factually wrong. It comes under both HA and SPP.
Okay, even if it comes both under Hostel Affairs and General Secretary Academy of PG, the thing is there is shortage of drivers. The thing is, I mean, when there are shortage of drivers, obviously the company is not going to run on time. That's the reason why private drivers and private buses
It's
have
actually wrong. There is no shortage of drivers. Do you know the issue or not? Why do quantums not run on
most
time?
of the time they are on strike and all those things.
That is the issue. So what?
So
what
this is
are
what
your
I wanted to
plans?
convey. There is shortage of driver because they are not running on time. They are not getting. I mean, they are not on job. This is the reason there is shortage of
So
drivers.
what is your stand on that? And what do you?
For example, already a very good stand has been taken. For example, bringing private buses to the institute and making them run from morning to evening is a very good stand. I appreciate this thing. Probably the thing could be done is extending this time from evening to night would be a better suggestion to get out of this problem.
Second question would be, the proposal for 24/7 library was rejected in the current tenure. Do you know the reason and what are your plans?
I don't know the reason.
Third question, the Academic Disciplinary Action Committee, in the Academic Disciplinary Action Committee, cases have been on a rise due to academic dishonesty and malpractices. How do you plan to campaign among students so that such practices are reduced? So, in the Academic Disciplinary Action Committee, the cases have been on a rise due to academic dishonesty and malpractices by students. How do you plan to campaign among students so that such practices are reduced?
What I actually feel personally is like when there's a lack of work, you get introduced into all those things. So if you have good amount of work to be done throughout the tenure, you are really too busy and you do not waste your time in doing all those things. So basic reason is just let people come with too much of work. I mean, it's like if you have a project, if you have a project and you are going to spend your night in lab, you are not going to do your malpractice and all those things in the night time in your hostels. Practical.
So what do you propose?
What I propose is I can just make them. I mean, sorry.
See, the problem, the reason for the rise in number of academic disciplinary action cases is that students do malpractice during examinations.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you make sure such cases are not on a rise?
A simple solution could be, I mean, increasing number of invigilators. This could be a simple solution. The other solution could be introducing, I mean, most of the time what happens in some of the subjects, what I have seen personally is like the number of questions have been repeated from the previous exams. So in that case, they come with the same things available with them and they start copying with it. So the better thing is if you introduce some questions which are new every year and probably more like on the knowledge basis rather than just money.
So you would request faculty to introduce new questions.
There have been less number of subjects which follow this thing. I mean, I don't
No,
see.
what is your proposal? I see the reason might be anything, but what is your proposal to reduce that?
I can ask them, but I don't think it's too much feasible. I can ask them, but I don't think it's too much feasible to just increasing number of invigilators and and asking students to not get involved in all these things. I mean, making them aware about what the after effects could be might make them not do such activities.
Thank you. So Gaurav, you know that there are three sets of questions. One on master students, one on PhD students, and one is general questions. So your first question is regarding master students. The background of this question is, currently institute does not allow MTech students to undergo summer internships as they are given stipend, though there are exceptions with some departments. Okay, as well as their guides do not find it appropriate as the students would lose lot of research time, given the fact that students anyways lose a lot of time during placements and applying. So this is the background of the question. What is your stand on, first question is, what is your stand on this issue? Do you feel that the institute's apprehensions are right, or you have some different stand?
Actually, it's obviously it's obviously a guide in wants that his students should work for his research topic only. Okay, so the guides wants maximum progress in his research field. So for that only guides do that some internship, and he is against this issue.
What is your stand?
My stand is
correct or not?
Well, it is correct on behalf of from me.
So you do not encourage students to go for summer internships?
In many cases that where the research topics are same as what we are going for intern. So in that case, I will encourage that.
Okay. So the second question is regarding PhD students. The common practice of PhD intake in many departments in this institute is students attend interview, they get selected, but they are allotted to professors according to the interests of the professors rather than that of the students. In fact, students get to know which professors they are allotted to only after they join here, on the first day of their joining here, which is against the international practice where students apply to specific professors according to their interests and get through. What is your stand on this, and what are your plans?
Actually, I also think that we should follow like the international practices. So every PhD student who get interviewed should be interviewed by that professor only in which field those students are interested.
Do you have any specific plans in your tenure?
Well, if I become a GSA, then I will propose a scheme to float the project topics beforehand, only before the admission, and let the students select.
Did you do any groundwork to see if it is feasible or not?
Well, no, I have not yet.
Okay. So the third set of questions are generic questions. The background is General Secretary Academic Affairs PG is a member of Student Welfare Society, Library Committee, Disciplinary Action Committee, Academic Disciplinary Action Committee, among many. So in this regard, your first question would be, do you know the issues regarding the terms? Why they do not run on time? Do you know or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, what is the reason?
The main thing is the drivers are on strike.
So what are your plans?
Well, right now the solution the current GSA and council has introduced is hiring the drivers on contract basis. So in my tenure, I will do this. I will continue this. In my tenure, I will continue this and analyze the problem, and hear what are the pleadings and requests of those drivers and try to compromise with them.
So the second question would be, the proposal for 24/7 library was rejected in the current tenure. Do you know the reason? The third question would be, the number of cases which Academic Disciplinary Action Committee takes up have been on a rise, and the reason being academic dishonesty and malpractices during examinations or during any time of their academic career. How do you plan to campaign among students so that such practices are reduced?
I can if I become a GSA square, then I can tell the students that during these malpractices are not harming them. It's not for their benefit, but it's without these malpractices.
Students already know that.
Well, without these malpractices, they can also get good grades.
Don't you think students already know that?
We know that, but to encourage them, professors can also take some stand. Like this time, our professors are lenient enough to.
Do you have any specific idea which you have already thought of?
Not yet thought of.
Okay. So Shubham, you know that there are 3 sets of questions. One each regarding masters, one regarding postgraduate students, PhD students, and one is regarding your generic GSA square work. Okay, here's your first question regarding master students. The background of the question would be, currently institute does not allow MTech students to undergo summer internships as they are given stipend. There are exceptions for some departments, as well as their guides do not find it appropriate, as the students would lose a lot of research time, given the fact that students anyways lose a lot of time during placements and apping. The first question would be, what is your stand on this issue?
I strongly believe that if a student is interested to do summer internship, then he should be allowed.
So what do you think? What do you think about their concerns that student is anyways losing a lot of time during placements, and he would already again lose 2 months of time during internships? So won't it hamper his research work here?
It's all about managing your time. All right. Means I do believe that if a student is genuinely interested to do his research work, if he is interested to do his placement process smoothly, if he is interested to do internship as well, then I believe that IITians do have that capability to do the time management.
Okay. So the second question would be on PhD students, issues about PhD students. The background would be, the common practice of PhD intake in many departments in our institute is, students attend the interview, they get selected, but they are allotted to professors according to the interests of the professors rather than the interests of the students. In fact, students get to know which professors they are allotted to only after they join here during on day one of their joining here, which is against the international practice where students apply to specific professors according to their interests and get through. Right. What is your stand on this, and what are your plans?
Okay. I oppose the current system, and I believe that student should be asked whether they want to work in this particular research area and under this particular professor, because PhD is about at least a 4-year commitment of a student to that research work and to that professor.
So what are your plans? What would you do if you are elected as a general secretary? Have you thought of anything so far?
Just a minute. Maybe we could bring a change in interviewing process. During the interview itself, the student will be asked that this is the project research area that we have available, and if you are selected, you will be working in this particular research area. Are you comfortable with this?
The third set of questions are generic. The background would be, the General Secretary Academic Affairs PG is a member of Student Welfare Society,
Right.
Library Committee, Disciplinary Action Committee, Academic Disciplinary Action Committee, among many others.
Right.
The first question is, do you know the issues regarding term terms? Why they do not run on time? Do you know, yes or no?
Yes.
What is the reason?
So basically, TumTums not running in summer or recent winter vacations was due to the strike. That drivers have some particular demands, like they should be given the medical facilities as the facilities and other facilities that are being given to the employees of IIT Bombay. And due to these demands not being accepted by the administration of IIT Bombay, they went on strike. So as a solution, the administration came up with a solution that there should be some contract buses being called in the institute, and they would run for the time being.
Second question is, the proposal for 24/7 library was rejected in the current tenure. Do you know the reason?
No.
You didn't ask for the solution for this term.
When they said they don't, for you people you said you don't know.
No, solution for term.
He already said it as a solution. He himself said as a solution.
Yes. So what would be the next thing? I mean, in your tenure, you didn't ask this thing.
He himself said the solution is hiring the contract people. He himself said as a solution. So you don't know the reason for 24/7.
Yes.
Okay. The third question is, the Academic Disciplinary Action Committee has witnessed a rise in number of cases which it is handling. The reason is due to academic dishonesty, academic malpractices during examinations and other times. How do you plan to campaign among students so that such practices are reduced?
The best way to reach students is through the student companions. Every student coming in the institute are allotted student companions. So these student companions can be trained. We can carry out a kind of training for these student companions so as to what should be transferred to the juniors in terms of knowledge. If the student companions say that these kind of malpractices may take you in some kind of disastrous situation, then students will definitely not do such kind of activities.